a special edition of Let's Talk Tobago. On this episode, we feature the Chief Secretary's Independence Reception 2019, which took place in the main hall of the Division of Community Development, Enterprise Development and Labor on the occasion of the 57th anniversary of independence of our nation, Trinidad and Tobago.
Permit me first of all to say that I'm immensely honored to celebrate our nation's 57th anniversary of independence with you. I believe that as a country and an island, Trinidad and Tobago is privileged to celebrate such a milestone. That means 57 years of our ability as a country to chart our path forward. 57 years of being self-reliant as a people, and perhaps more importantly, the opportunity to build on 57 years of progress. This is an achievement that we should never take for granted. Our nation, and specific to us here tonight, Tobago, is facing its fair share of challenges. However, we have much to be grateful for. And more importantly, we have the opportunity to use our ingenuity and innate creativity to come up with effective solutions for the betterment of our island. All it takes is the will, know-how, and collaborative effort to continue striding forward. Here in Tobago, we are not short of opportunities. Just look around the island during the school vacation. You could see no shortages of activities for our young people. We had camps in abundance with everything from makeup to small appliance repairs, sports, arts and craft, and even technology. Earlier in the year, we had 4 vendors who participated in Caribbean 2019 held in Cuba, 8 entrepreneurs who participated in the Trade and Investment Convention in Trinidad and would have received kudos for the presentation of their booths. In July, we had the Financial and Business Development Program, which was recently concluded for young entrepreneurs, giving them an opportunity to network with the financial and business sector. And just last week, we had many of our entrepreneurs participating in CariFesta 14, and they would have gotten immense support from the Business Development Unit and are making the best of that support in growing and developing their businesses. We also had the commissioning of the Roxborough Administrative Complex, where several services are now available in Windward, Tobago. The big question for us to answer is, where do we go from here? What do we do with the opportunities we have now that were not available before? What do we do as a people with our new skills and certifications? What can we do with more community facilities and more services that are now provided throughout the island? The great Nelson Mandela once said, after climbing a great hill, there are many more hills to climb. What are we doing to prepare ourselves for what lies ahead of us? I am a firm advocate of taking a deeper look at where one is now and seeking to find areas where we can make a difference. I urge us, therefore, to be industrious, forward-thinking, sober in our approach, and ready to reap the rewards of hard work. We as a nation should be proud of our achievements and accomplishments thus far. We have overcome slavery, colonialism, hardship, recessions, and natural disasters. We have come from diverse backgrounds, cultures, and religions. We are unique in our creativity, innovativeness, and expression. In this small twin island state, we are well represented in every sphere of life and every walk of life, and in countries all across the world. I urge us, therefore, to use these gifts and abilities, this diversity, and this love for our country to be more patriotic, to make Tobago, and by extension, Trinidad and Tobago, a place which we can be proud of. Finally, I encourage us as a people to remember that no person is an island. Let us be genuine in the way we care for and treat one another. No amount of development means anything if we lose our sense of self, of family, of community. If we can maintain or even strengthen these ties, then we can truly see that every creed and race find an equal place. And above all, may God bless our nation.
Together we aspire. Together we continue to achieve, reaching for gold and glory and climbing to the top of podiums on the international stage. Our spirits soar high when the wind of victory blows and the name of Trinidad and Tobago reigns globally. They elevate even higher when the victor of the battle hails from among us right here in Tobago. So like many of you, I was extremely thrilled on Tuesday when our very own Akeem Stewart won the men's discus final at the 2019 Parapan American Games recently. With his golden throw, he smashed the world record and also delivered to this nation an outstanding independence gift. Additionally, not too long after, he won silver in the javelin event. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Tobagonians, we are celebrating yet another milestone of our country's anniversary of independence. This is an occasion that should be celebrated with pride, for we have achieved much. But in the same vein, it is an occasion that ought to trigger the process of introspection and reflection as individuals and as a nation. How many of us here in this room, or those tuned in on the internet or television, can truly say that generally we are a people loyal and patriotic to Trinidad and Tobago? Brothers and sisters, let's take our minds back for a moment. 57 years ago, at the stroke of midnight, our beloved nation of Trinidad and Tobago was born. To the fanfare of trumpets and the tolling of bells, the Union Jack of Great Britain was lowered, and for the very first time, the national flag of Trinidad and Tobago was hoisted and unfolded. Pride, joy, and hope permeated the occasion as we received these reins to steer our own future and to shape our own destiny. In his inaugural address, the father of our nation, Dr. Eric Williams, implored us as citizens to always place first the national interest and cause. On that historic day, the sovereignty and the democracy of this nation became our collective responsibility. The success or the failure of Trinidad and Tobago was now dependent on every man, woman, boy, and girl residing in the land. This new status of independence spoke to a call to duty that far superseded the defense of our national borders and our right to vote. This new sovereignty and democracy now required us to be more than just upholders of laws, but contributors to governance and builders of our very own nation. My fellow Tobagonians, it's always easy to admire and draw reference to citizens of other countries who unashamedly respect, defend, and boast about their own home countries. We can think of our Jamaican brothers, or for that matter, the United States of America system that ensures that every child understands that he or she is an American citizen before he or she is anything else. Are we ready to change our mindsets and instill in our children and youth a new way of thinking about our island and country? As we recognize another anniversary of our independence, I remind us all that for us to succeed as a nation, we must place country above self. This is a clarion call for greater loyalty, patriotism, and pride. In short, fellow citizens, a greater love for country. I am almost certain that I am not alone in noticing that these words are often reiterated on occasions like these, but in our day-to-day lives seem somewhat far removed. Tonight begs the question, how do we as an island ensure that Tobago is not left behind and truly epitomizes an island in flight? Brothers and sisters, I dare say the answer lies inter alia in our love for Ireland. I believe as well that there must be an unrelenting commitment and pledge to the colors, red, white, and black, and the watchwords of discipline, production, and tolerance. It is giving eminence to the welfare of Tobago in all that we do, an outlook that should guide us in both our minor and major decisions. Tonight, I want to urge us all to personally recommit to this position. Let us challenge ourselves to make a concerted and valiant effort to put the needs of our island, and by extension our country, at the forefront. Volunteer, mentor, give of yourself, time and talent where the need arises, and help build the next generation. This evening I say to you, never get tired. Keep on striving, for many with the right mindsets are needed to truly maximize the potential of this island and to make it a better place for us all. For those who are putting themselves above country, it is never too late to start practicing the reverse. Country above self is essentially service before self. Ultimately, however, it is still giving priority to oneself as an individual, but refusing to leave your fellow countryman behind or undone. Over the past 2 years, Tobago has been traversing the development trajectory, even in the midst of grappling with financial constraints. On the eastern end of the island, we proudly delivered the Roxborough Administrative Complex last month. This move will increase access to many basic governmental and non-governmental services for residents of Roxborough and the environs. We also turned the sun to begin the formal start of construction of the Roxborough Hospital and Health Center, a project that will forever alter the face of healthcare in Tobago, especially in the eastern part of the island. This administration's passion and commitment to youth development has been channeled through the Department of Youth Affairs, which has partnered with the Tobago Youth Council to provide a healthy space for the exchange of opinions on a number of key issues. Under sport and youth, the Caribbean Sport Caravan was also launched, reaching approximately 1,000 students and student athletes, informing them about potential careers in the sporting industry. We can also boast about the construction and completion of the long overdue Sports Administrative Complex at Shore Park, as well as repair works to the Sid Gray Complex in Roxborough. Our road network continues to be transformed as the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and the Environment embarks on various projects across the island. We recently completed for the first time the rehabilitation of the Claude Noel Highway, a 2-kilometer stretch from Rockley Vale to Orange Hill. Work was done from the foundation level, making this the first major rehabilitation project to have taken place since the commissioning of the highway in 1984. Meanwhile, the maintenance and repair of multiple streets in communities across Tobago is also being fulfilled. Construction is underway at the Thompson River Bridge in Lambo, as it is currently being upgraded to a dual-lane bridge. Earlier this year, we experienced another high as the newly revamped Barbados Bay Jetty was commissioned. I can proudly add that in February of this year, this jetty successfully received its first badge in over 15 years. As an administration, we are making every effort to boost the economic activity and self-sufficiency of Tobago. We are laser-focused in our attempts to revitalize our tourism industry. I believe that our approach to tourism is now more scientifically based, and we are beginning to see the results. Just a few weeks ago, Tobago's new marketing campaign, Tobago Beyond Ordinary, was shortlisted for the International Travel and Tourism Awards in the categories Best National Tourism Board Campaign and Best Destination Campaign. It did not stop there. Subsequently, we were shortlisted for the Business Marketing Award in London in 2 categories, Best Employee Engagement Program and Best International Campaign. Such recognition bears eloquent testament to the fact that we are on the correct path towards revitalizing or reviving the tourism industry in Tobago, diversifying the national economy, generating more employment opportunities, and earning foreign exchange. I must also commend the Division of Tourism for the successful staging of the Tobago leg of the recently concluded Carry Festa, an experience that I'm sure is still lingering in your minds and hearts. Self-determination and self-actualization are the companions of independence. Over the years, Tobago has undergone a paradigm shift where more and more Tobagonians have pursued entrepreneurship. In May of this year, the Division of Community Development, Enterprise Development and Labor held their first ever roadshow at Trinity Mall, Trinidad. This was a creative and exciting initiative by the division to provide a platform for Tobago entrepreneurs to network and to exhibit their products to potential customers and investors. Further to this, in July of this year, both the divisions of finance and community development also journeyed to the sister isle once again for the Trade and Investment Convention TIC. On both occasions, Tobago's innovation and industriousness beamed brightly, and the response received from the Trinidad market was extremely positive, capturing a headline in the Daily Express which read, "Tobago tops TIC." This evening, I also take the opportunity to once again commend the top 3 SEA students in Tobago, along with their teachers, parents, and principals. For the first time since the introduction of the SEA examination, Tobago was able to secure 3 spots in the top 200 nationally. This historic performance for the Tobago district is evidence that in changing the system, we changed the results. The 2019 CSEC and CAPE results continue to show improvement over last year. The latter reflected an increase in the pass rate from 92.7% to 93%. Though seemingly marginal, it must be noted that the performance is consistently in the 90s and moving upwards. In respect of the former, I particularly wish to commend the Harmon School of the Seventh-day Adventists which recorded a 75% pass rate in respect of students obtaining 5 or more passes, up from 24% last year. And the Pentecostal Life and Life, which recorded a 63% pass rate, 5 passes and over, up from 20% last year. A quantum leap in performance, ladies and gentlemen. Brothers and sisters, my fellow Tobagonians, as we observe another year of independence, I ask that we maintain a posture of gratitude, optimism, and hope, as there are so many achievements and milestones for us to celebrate. Let us not become dejected and overwhelmed by the trials and challenges that confront us as an island and as a country. Trinidad and Tobago has surmounted periods of uncertainty before, and remnants of that tenacity still abound within us. I believe that with a genuine love for our nation, we will be more inclined to put country above self, and with our watchwords of discipline, production, and tolerance firmly rooted in our hearts and souls, we shall be able to boast of being a people who have answered the clarion call, country before self, as we acknowledge that Tobago is an island in flight, soaring to higher and greater levels of patriotism. Brothers and sisters, happy 57th independence to the government and people of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. I wish you a very happy and safe independence, and may God continue to richly bless our nation. So to an island and country that is productive, to an island and country and people loyal, to an island, country, and people patriotic, to a country that gets more beautiful, to a country that grows more prosperous, to a country to which we all owe our allegiance. Ladies and gentlemen, happy 57th anniversary.
God provides, so why do I worry about my life? When you come to my rescue 1,000 times, every other voice, it is a lie. God provides, God provides in ways I can't explain and can't deny. The little that I have, He multiplies. Just when I think He won't show up on time, God provides, He'll come through. When the clouds of doubt rain down on you and test everything you thought you knew, now you finally see what God can do for you. So tonight, close your eyes, there's no more need to fight. Watch God provide. God provides. It's hard to say when there's no food to eat, or what you think that life will be. Will this be another year of misery?
tell us a little bit about one of your most memorable independence moments?
Well, it's interesting. I think what stays with me is the awe and the wonder of seeing fireworks at the end of independence celebrations. And I think it's because the fireworks represent light, it represents energy, it represents, brilliance, which I think describes our people, our island. And for me, that is very central to the whole concept of independence.
When I think about independence and I think about what was done 57 years ago by citizens of this country, literally forging this country from the love of freedom, I see independence as a challenge to not only live up to what has gone before and to leave a legacy, because I'm living in the legacy that has gone before me, and a challenge to put my best foot forward so that generations to come can have something that they can look back and be proud of and continue to build on. So for me, it's not just about a holiday, it's not just about what happened then, but it's about continuing to be positive and for our country to be progressive, and that's the spirit of independence to me.
This is not something that is to be taken for granted. Independence is freedom, the ability for a nation to grow and to adapt to the changes in time. Because we move from one generation to the next, we have advanced in technology. In the past, where you find where to transmit information was in the form of a telegram. Now you just type in and the message reaches within seconds. So as a people, we have to embrace the changes. We have to embrace the revolution that we will be undergoing.
I want to say independence greetings to the entire nation, particularly the people of Tobago, because we have always been playing the catch-up game. But the word independence means a lot to me. I think it starts with the mind, the will, the willingness to push and achieve. And I think we need to develop that spirit in Tobago a little more.
Well, if they vibe, feeling high, rock me steady whole night. Well, if they vibe, feeling right, come on.
This has been a special edition of Let's Talk Tobago. We brought you the Chief Secretary's Independence Reception 2019 from the main hall of the Division of Community Development, Enterprise Development and Labor. I'm Patricia Nicholson. Happy Independence and thank you for viewing.
Do it. Oh gosh, come on. Well, if they vibe, feeling right, rock me steady whole night. Well, if they vibe, feeling right, rock me steady whole night. Well, if they vibe, feeling right, rock me steady whole night.